Hey guys, it's J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13.
What's up? It's Mr. Malibu here.
What's up? It's Ari.
Hi everybody, it's Alana Rivers.
It's more about the connections we've made more than anything else, more about how all of us who do this podcast together are a family. That's really what it's all about.
This podcast is really about determination. You will not find a more determined group of people to get things done and to succeed. It's not like succeeding in your team. You want to have fun while doing this. So it's about determination. It's about loving what we do, having each other, making the connections. It's more about the connections than the actual subscribers or views. It's about how close we've all come with each other. It's about the family. It's about the feels. And we love it. And we love having the feels together. We love the connections we've made. We love the family aspect we've got. Determination and dedication. And most importantly, this podcast is about family and feels.
Hello, my name's J-Man Powerhouse, and welcome to the Life is Feels podcast.
Hey guys, it's J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13.
Don't steal my entrance. J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13, the better one.
What's up? It's Mr. Malibu here.
And Steven Jackson 13.
What's up? It's Ari.
Hi everybody, it's Alana Rivers.
J-Man Powerhouse. You're listening to the Life is Feels podcast. We hope you stick with us and go through all the emotions and all the feels. The Life is Feels podcast starts right now.
Lacey, I want to talk about how this all started with Sasha and Bayley. You questioned their leadership. Why did you do that?
Because they're bullies. I was tired of sitting back there and listening to the way that they disrespect the women's division. And I learned early on that you stand up, not being intimidated by bullies, and that's exactly what I did.
Lacey, you and I have talked at length about what has been a, rough upbringing for you. Is that one of the reasons that you decided to challenge the so-called bullies?
Well, I didn't have the easiest upbringing growing up. My father suffered and worked so hard with addiction and depression, and he lost that battle. And it's something that I deal with every single day. It's something that I use with this platform and this company to show the entire world that it does not matter the cards that you were dealt in your life, that you can stack that deck and play whatever game you set your mind to. Okay? And I'm not done, because that is the hardest part about being in this position, is knowing what they're doing, knowing what the world is going through, and knowing that I have a chance to set the proper example and show them that it does not matter what you're going through. You can make it. And I made it, and there's nothing that none of you can accomplish if you set your mind to it.
You know, one of the things about Bayley and Sasha that you have to put in your mind is when you question their leadership, if you do become champion, you're going to have to be a leader yourself. What type of leader are you going to be?
Well, a leader that continues to inspire people and show them that it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what the hell you've been through. that if you keep pushing, that you can accomplish your goals. And my goal is to, like I said, use this platform and show the world not what I've been through, but what I know so many of you are going through, and I am going to continue to set that example. And that's what the world needs, and I'm going to be that champion.
Hey guys, it's J-Man Powerhouse. Welcome to episode 36 of the Life is Heels podcast entitled WWE Royal Rumble 2020 Predictions. I know it's been a while. It's been about a month since we've uploaded. I've had stuff, and other people doing the podcast have had stuff going on. We're always looking for new members, trying to get the goal across. I just want to let you know we're still here to stay. And we'll talk more about that as the episodes go on. But anyway, episode 36. The fields for the Royal Rumble start right now. So the Royal Rumble card for 2020 looks like this. WWE Universal Champion Bray Wyatt will face the challenger Daniel Bryan in a strap match. Men's Royal Rumble match. Women's Royal Rumble match. WWE Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch will face Asuka. Baron Corbin vs. Roman Reigns in Falls Count Anywhere. WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley puts her title on the line against Lacey Evans. Sheamus vs. Shorty G or Chad Gable. And WWE United States Champion Andrade puts his title up on the line against Humberto Carrillo. Once again, that's Bray Wyatt vs. Daniel Bryan for the Universal Championship in a strap match. Men's Royal Rumble. Women's Royal Rumble. WWE Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch vs. Asuka for the title. Baron Corbin vs. Roman Reigns, Falls Count Anywhere. WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley vs. Lacey Evans for the title. Sheamus vs. Chad Gable, Shorty G. WWE United States Champion Andrade vs. Humberto Carrillo for the title. So we'll do the Rumble matches last. And we'll do the championship matches. So Sheamus versus Chad Gable, I think, or Shorty G, I think Sheamus has to win here. He's just coming back. It's an interesting storyline. As much as I love Shorty G or Chad Gable, I see Sheamus winning with a blow kick in under 3 minutes, I would say. Sheamus, even though he's one of those guys that, like Orton and like others, is there to put young guys over, I don't see Chad Gable or Shorty G winning this match. Sheamus has been built up extremely since coming back, and they've put a lot into Sheamus. They've put a lot into the Shorty G character too, and they've told the story really well between Sheamus and Chad. I would not be shocked. I know a lot of people don't think this is going to happen. I would not be shocked if Jason Jordan shows up here. I would love to see Jason Jordan. We haven't seen him for months. This would be the perfect spot. This match is probably going to be on the pre-show. That's really the only way I could see Shorty G winning this. Because one-on-one, I don't think Chad Gable's going to beat Sheamus. The match should be good. It should be entertaining. Two guys who can work really well together, Sheamus and Chad Gable. Sheamus does a good job, just like many others, like Orton, getting the young guys over. But I say ultimately, Sheamus beats Chad Gable with the bro kick here. Okay, so as I said, we're going to do the matches that aren't a title match or Rumble match first. So the only other one that isn't a title or Rumble match would be Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns in Falls Count Anywhere. I would think Reigns has to win here. I feel like the storyline has gone on forever. Reigns and Corbin just always seem to go back and forth. I mean, they work well together. Obviously, I would think Ziggler and Rude at some point get involved in the Usos counter the Bloodline. I don't know what this is setting up. Reigns has a chance, I think, later in the night to win the Rumble. But as far as Corbin goes, I mean, Corbin does a good job with his character. Ziggler and Rude have found reassurance helping out Baron Corbin. But Falls Count Anywhere, I don't know where the count's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be backstage. I don't know if someone's going to get hurt and no one's going to get falls. But I think Roman Reigns has to win this. As far as time, I don't know. I don't know what this is leading up to for Corbin. I think that I don't know. Corbin could face Ziggler or Rude at Mania, for as far as I know. Corbin does a good job with his character, but I think that Roman Reigns has to win here. So I'm going to say Falls Count Anywhere match, Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns. I'm going to say Roman Reigns wins either via pinfall or disqualification. Humberto Carrillo versus Andrade. Andrade is the United States champion. Zelina Vega ringside for Andrade. I think Andrade has to retain here. Carrillo will have a good showing. Don't be surprised in my mind, obviously, if Rey Mysterio gets involved. Mysterio and Andrade seem to have great chemistry. Obviously, Andrade working well with pretty much everyone now. I don't know what the plan for Andrade for Mania is, but I think Andrade has to win here. I would think Andrade wins relatively shortly. I could be wrong. This could be a longer match. I don't know if Vega's going to help him out. And I don't know what the plan for Andrade is. Maybe Andrade wins the Rumble. If Andrade is planned to win the Rumble, maybe Carrillo wins this match. Maybe they're setting up for Andrade versus Rey at Mania and Dominic in Rey's corner. Hopefully this is a showing for Carrillo. But I think Andrade here, I'd kind of be shocked if Carrillo wins this. I think Andrade has the advantage. Obviously, is going in hot with wins over Rey, and I think Andrade's Rey storyline will somehow continue here. So, I'm going to say Andrade retains the United States Championship against Humberto Carrillo, and in my mind, they're going to set up something with Andrade and Rey. So I'm going to say Andrade retains the United States Championship. So we move on. Becky Lynch versus Asuka for the Raw Women's title. Rematch of last year's Rumble, where Asuka beat Becky. I would think Becky has to retain here. It'll be a long match. Becky and Asuka have some chemistry. Depending on which way the WWE decides to go here, and depending on what happens with Lacey Evans versus Bayley, Becky's WrestleMania opponents could be numbered. She could face Shayna Baszler, could face Charlotte, she could face Ronda Rousey, who we'll talk about later, or she could face Asuka again. But I think Becky versus Asuka, I don't know, I guess Asuka and Kairi Sane will defend the tag titles if they're still they're still WWE Women's Tag Champs by then. But I think Becky wins here, and I don't know, they set something up. Maybe they set up Baszler, maybe they set up Rousey, Charlotte, Sasha Banks. They could do a bunch of other things, but I don't. This will be a long match. I don't see Asuka winning. I see Becky winning. The storyline they've done with Becky and Asuka has been good. They've gotten both over. But ultimately, I think Becky Lynch retains the Raw Women's Championship here. Bayley defends the SmackDown Women's Championship against Lacey Evans. I would think Bayley has to retain here. I don't see Lacey Evans winning here. They've done a good job to build up her character in the storyline, the whole thing with her daughter and everything. Bayley retains the title in my mind here in a bunch of different ways. Either Sasha Banks helps her retain the title, or she retains the title and Sasha Banks attacks her. Because ultimately, I think the plan for Mania is Banks versus Bayley. How the WWE plans to get to Banks versus Bayley is another story. Do they wait and do they drag it out till Chamber, and then at Elimination Chamber do they have them turn? To be honest, I don't want to see Banks versus Bayley. I know it's the culmination, it's supposed to happen. We're all supposed to be excited for it. I like Banks and Bayley together. I like what they've done with Lacey Evans. I can't really see Banks and Bayley doing anything else at Mania unless they take the title off of Becky and the 4 horsewomen of WWE face the 4 horsewomen of, MMA. But we'll get to Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey later. But I'd say Bayley has to win with the Bayley the Belly or help from Sasha and retains the title against Lacey Evans, who I expect to be in the Rumble. I think she's in the Women's Rumble match later in the night. Maybe they give her a shot. Maybe she wins the Women's Royal Rumble match. But ultimately, the plan for Mania seems to be Sasha versus Bayley. So I say Bayley wins and retains the SmackDown Women's Championship against Lacey Evans, either by Bayley the Belly or help from Sasha. Bayley retains. Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt or The Fiend for the Universal Championship in a strap match. I think Bray Wyatt or The Fiend has to retain here. I think Wyatt and Bryan will have a good match here, as they have chemistry. I don't see Bryant winning. I could be wrong. Bryant could win. I think the angle might be Wyatt Reigns at Mania, which would mean that Reigns would win the Rumble. Bryan and Wyatt have good chemistry, like I said, so they'll put on a good match. It might be a while. The strap match indication should help put some stuff onto it. They should be able to use chairs and things, but I think that Bray Wyatt or The Fiend retains here against Daniel Bryan and remains the Universal Champion. And then we'll see what they do with Bryan. There's possibilities. I don't know. We'll see what they do with Daniel Bryan. But I say Wyatt is still the champion, Universal Champion by the end of the night. Men's Royal Rumble match. So Brock Lesnar will enter number 1. The other participants named, there are 27 others named. Remember, there's 30 total. So Lesnar will come in at 1. Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Eric Rowan, King Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, Tucker, Elias, Aleister Black, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, R-Truth, Braun Strowman, WWE Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, Raw Tag Team Champion Seth Rollins, Raw Tag Team Champion Buddy Murphy, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, SmackDown Tag Team Champion Kofi Kingston, SmackDown Tag Team Champion Big E, John Morrison, The Miz, and 3 surprise entrants. Now, there's a lot of rumors of who those 3 entrants may be. Let's talk about John Cena, Cain Velasquez, CM Punk, Edge. There's a talk about a bunch of people. John Cena. I would say that more than likely you'll see Cain Velasquez eliminate Brock Lesnar in this. I don't know if Cain Velasquez is gonna win. We'll find out. Some of these others here, we'll see. We'll see. I would love Punk, but I don't think Punk's gonna happen. Some of these others here are just gonna cross counter and continue to feud with each other. I would think. Some of the cross counters here, I would think Orton, McIntyre, and Styles. Obviously, I'd say Mysterio would probably have maybe some interaction with Rollins. Truth, I don't know. Truth is always out there. Corbin will probably have some interaction with a bunch of people, with Owens maybe, Owens and Joe. Rusev and Lashley. I'd say Rollins and Murphy definitely have interactions with Joe and Owens. And I say that the New Day, Kingston and Big E definitely have interactions with Miz and Morrison. WWE could go a bunch of different ways here. The person who eliminates Lesnar could be the one who wins the Rumble, or you could have two separate things where the person who wins the Rumble, and the person who eliminates Lesnar, eliminates Lesnar. I would have to say that either Cain Velasquez or Roman Reigns wins this. I would think that it would have to be one of those two. Maybe Cena comes out and wins it, but I think Velasquez or Reigns is your best choice. And finally, the Women's Royal Rumble match. Only 9 of the 21 participants are named. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Sarah Logan, Natalya, Sonya Deville, Mandy Rhodes, Dana Brooke, and Carmella. And there's 21 participants to be announced. I would have to think Lacey Evans and Asuka might be in this. There's talk that Ronda Rousey might come back in this. Obviously, I think we'll see Naomi. I don't know who else. Shayna Baszler, Ruby Riott, Beth Phoenix. There's a bunch of options that WWE could go here. Obviously, there's no big feuds. Obviously, they're gonna have to put more in. I don't know. Charlotte and Alexa could be interesting. Obviously, I think Sasha Banks will be in. I think the most likely to be in to win it would be Sasha Banks, Ronda Rousey, or Shayna Baszler. So I'm going to say that Sasha Banks, Ronda Rousey, or Shayna Baszler wins the Women's Royal Rumble match. These are my Royal Rumble predictions. Let's go through them real quick. WWE Universal Championship match, strap match, Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan. I say Wyatt retains. Men's Royal Rumble match, I say either Cain Velasquez or Roman Reigns wins. Cain Velasquez, Roman Reigns, or John Cena. Women's Royal Rumble match, I say Shayna Baszler or Sasha Banks wins. Women's Raw title match, Becky Lynch versus Asuka. I say Becky Lynch retains. Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns, Falls Count Anywhere, Reigns. SmackDown Women's title match, Bayley versus Lacey Evans, Bayley retains. WWE United States title match, Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo, Andrade retains. And Sheamus beats Chad Gable. So that's Wyatt retains, Reigns or Velasquez win the Rumble for the men, Baszler or Banks win the Rumble for the women. Becky Lynch retains against Asuka, but Roman Reigns beats Baron Corbin, Falls Count Anywhere. Bayley retains against Lacey Evans in the SmackDown Women's title match. And Andrade retains against Carrillo, and Gable loses to Sheamus. Overall, the Royal Rumble should be a good show. We'll see what happens for us. we will be doing more pods. I know we say this a lot. We will be doing more pods in the near future. And we'll eventually have a pod that's gonna talk about Jake Paul versus Gibb before the fight. Look forward to that. I will have a Rumble post show at some point, and then we'll go from there. So, those are my Rumble predictions. What are yours? Let me know down in the link below, and I guess it's time for promotions. Before I get to promotions, I would like to say that I'm still gonna leave the offer out there. My goal is to make a young team, not just a team, but a people who are young and up and coming and want to get their name out there. If you would like to be part of the Life is Heals podcast or would like to talk to me about any opportunities, let me know. And now it's time for the promotions. You can subscribe to us on YouTube at Life is Heals podcast. If you have any questions or anything else, you can email us at lifeisfeelspodcast@gmail.com. Reach out, talk to us about anything, really, any questions you have about the video games we've covered, the shows we've covered, anything else. If you have any questions and you want to talk on Twitter, you can tweet and follow the official Life is Feels podcast at Life is Feels. I'm on Twitter a lot. We'll talk there, we'll hang out, we'll chill, and if you have any questions about anything, like how to podcast yourself and you want help or anything, just let me know. And yeah, so reach out to me on Twitter at LifeIsFeels, and I'll talk to you there. You can check out my podcast partner Stephen Ulch on Twitter at StephenUlch13. You can also check him out on Twitch at StephenUlch13. Or Steven Jackson 13. You can check out our music partner Riley Hawk, who's killing it, at Hawk Music on Twitter. YouTube, Riley Hawk Music. SoundCloud, search Riley Hawk. HawkMusic.com. Her friends do I guess this is a run through of video games called Team Turtle Ducks, where they've played Life is Strange 2 all the way through. So that's awesome. Once again, that's on Twitter at Hawk Music, YouTube Riley Hawk Music, SoundCloud search Riley Hawk, HawkMusic.com, and our friend's thing is Team Turtle Ducks. Riley Hawk is killing it right now, so keep going, Riley, and thank you for letting us continue to use your music, and you're doing awesome. Check out the person who made our logo at Steve_Fantasy on Twitter, StephenFantasyDesign.com. That's http://StephenFantasyDesign.com/ and you can check him out. He's awesome. Give him a shout out. He helped us make our logo. And yeah, that's at Steve_Fantasy on Twitter and StephenFantasyDesign.com. Here's some people I like to watch on Twitch. You can check them out. Twitch.tv/BabyCobra. She's awesome. She hangs out and we talk and we chill. So that's awesome. Again, that's https://www.twitch.tv/BabyCobra. Or just Google or search bar Baby Cobra on Twitch, and you'll see it. Cobra spelled Cobraa. And twitch.tv/Orvidden. Orvidden is spelled ORRIDEN. www.7cups.com is a free care and therapy service online for counseling and someone to talk to while on the go. They're here to listen. Again, that's https://www.7cups.com. You can get therapy there. All those people there are really nice. Go to Wattpad and search My Friend Curious Winchester. And I will leave the link to my friend Jinx's Twitch in the description below. Thank you so much for listening to episode 36 of the Life is Fields podcast entitled WWE Royal Rumble 2020 Predictions. For J-Man Powerhouse, that's all, folks. Always take your shot. Fields is life. And remember, folks, life is Fields. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.